In the annals of history, there are few figures as multifaceted and impactful as Benjamin Franklin. He once quipped, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain, except death and taxes." This sentiment not only reflects his renowned wit, but also hints at the depth of his understanding of the world around him. Franklin's life was a tapestry woven with threads of innovation, diplomacy, and enlightenment. Join us as we unravel the remarkable journey of this printer, inventor, statesman, and founding father, whose electrifying ideas illuminated the path to a new era. Benjamin Franklin came into this world on January 6, 1706, in a small house on Milk Street in Boston, right next to the Old South Church. Born to Josiah Franklin and Abiah, he was the youngest son in a long line of youngest sons, with 17th living brothers and sisters. Josiah worked as a soap and candle maker to support the family, while Abiah took care of the children, making their home a lively and joyful place. At the age of 8, Ben was sent to the South Grammar School to prepare for a career as a minister, but financial constraints forced Josiah to pull him out after a few months. Ben then attended George Brownell's English School for a year in 1716, finishing his formal education. Despite his desire to continue learning, his family's financial situation made it impossible for him to pursue further schooling. Instead, Ben began working odd jobs, but none sparked his interest like the sea, which he longed to explore. Eventually, Ben became an apprentice to his half-brother James, a printer, at the age of 12. Since Ben had a passion for reading and writing poetry, the job seemed fitting. Under James's tutelage, Ben honed his writing skills by imitating essays from a magazine. In 1721, when James launched the New England Courant, Ben contributed a series of essays under the pen name Silence Dogood, which satirized Bostonian society and gained popularity. In 1722, the Massachusetts government imprisoned James twice for criticizing it in his newspaper, demonstrating the lack of freedom of the press at that time. During James's incarcerations, Ben took charge of the paper. However, upon James's release, tensions arose between the brothers, leading Ben to leave the printing shop. Despite his hopes of finding work with another Boston printer, James had secretly warned them not to hire Ben. With no job prospects, Ben made the decision to leave Boston behind. Benjamin Franklin's journey took a pivotal turn on September 25, 1723, when he left Boston, hoping to find work as a printer in New York. Unfortunately, his efforts were fruitless, leading him to continue his journey southward to Philadelphia, then the largest city in America. Arriving on October 6 with just $1 and some bread, Franklin quickly secured a job in Samuel Keimer's printing shop and lodging at the home of John and Sarah Redd, where he met their daughter, Deborah, whom he would later marry. 7 months into his time in Philadelphia, Franklin met Pennsylvania's Governor, William Keith, who promised to help him establish his own printing shop. Excited by the prospect, Franklin returned to Boston to seek his father's financial support, but Josiah Franklin refused. Undeterred, Franklin returned to Philadelphia, where Governor Keith advised him to go to London to purchase printing supplies, promising credit upon his return. Franklin sailed to London on November 5th, but arrived to discover that Keith had not fulfilled his promise. Despite this setback, Franklin found work at Samuel Palmer's printing shop in London, where he published an anonymous essay titled A Dissertation on Liberty and Necessity, Pleasure and Pain, which garnered attention among London's freethinkers. After a brief stint in a different printing shop, Franklin agreed to work for a Quaker merchant named Thomas Denham back in Philadelphia. However, both Franklin and Denham fell ill with pleurisy upon their return. Franklin recovered in March 1727, but Denham passed away. Returning to Samuel Keimer's printing shop, Franklin resumed his old job and established Junto. The Junto was a discussion group for issues of the day. It subsequently gave rise to many organizations in Philadelphia. In 1728, Franklin and James Meredith decided to start their own printing shop, financed by Meredith's parents. When Keimer learned of their plans, he hastily launched the Pennsylvania Gazette, prompting Franklin to write essays for a competing newspaper. Within a year, Keimer went bankrupt, allowing Franklin and Meredith to purchase the Pennsylvania Gazette at a bargain and turn it into a successful publication. By 1730, Franklin had bought out Meredith's share and became the most prosperous printer in Philadelphia. After getting success as a printer, Benjamin get married with Deborah. When Franklin first met Deborah, she was already married to a man named John Rogers, who had abandoned her. Unable to obtain a legal divorce from Rogers due to the complexities of the law at the time, Franklin and Deborah began a common law marriage in 1730. Despite the lack of a formal ceremony or legal recognition, Franklin and Deborah considered themselves husband and wife. They lived together as a devoted couple, raising a family and supporting each other through life's ups and downs. Their relationship endured for over 2 decades, weathering the challenges of time and circumstance. In 1756, after the death of John Rogers, Franklin and Deborah's relationship was officially recognized as a legal marriage. They remained devoted to each other until Deborah's passing in 1774, their bond a testament to the enduring power of love and commitment. Benjamin Franklin and Deborah Reed Rogers may have had an unconventional start, but their love story is one of enduring partnership and devotion. Franklin's political career began in earnest in 1751 when he was elected to the Pennsylvania Assembly. His influence quickly grew as he championed various public projects, including the establishment of the first fire department in Philadelphia and improvements to the city's infrastructure. In 1754, he proposed the Albany Plan of Union, an early attempt to unify the American colonies under a single government, which, although unsuccessful at the time, foreshadowed future efforts at colonial unity. During the 1760s and 1770s, Franklin became a prominent advocate for American interests in Britain. His efforts to repeal the Stamp Act and other unpopular laws demonstrated his diplomatic skills and deep understanding of colonial grievances. Returning to America in 1775, Franklin served in the Continental Congress and was appointed to the committee responsible for drafting the Declaration of Independence in 1776. His wisdom and experience were invaluable in shaping the new nation's founding principles. Franklin's diplomatic achievements were critical to the success of the American Revolution. In 1776, he was appointed as the United States envoy to France, where he played a pivotal role in securing French support for the American cause. His charm, wit, and reputation as a scientist and philosopher endeared him to the French court, leading to the signing of the Treaty of Alliance in 1778. This alliance provided essential military and financial support to the struggling American forces. Franklin's diplomatic efforts culminated in the negotiation of the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which formally ended the Revolutionary War. Alongside John Adams and John Jay, Franklin secured favorable terms for the United States, including recognition of American independence and significant territorial gains. His skillful diplomacy not only helped to secure victory in the war, but also laid the foundation for lasting peace between the United States and Britain. Returning to America in 1785, Benjamin Franklin was celebrated as a national hero. Despite his advanced age, he continued to contribute to public life. He served as president of the Pennsylvania Executive Council and was a delegate to the Constitutional Convention in 1787. At the convention, Franklin played a key role in shaping the new Constitution, advocating for a strong central government and urging compromise among the delegates. Franklin's later years were also marked by his ongoing commitment to social causes. He was a vocal opponent of slavery, advocating for its abolition and the improvement of conditions for free blacks. His writings and speeches on the subject reflected his enduring belief in the principles of liberty and equality. Benjamin Franklin passed away on April 17, 1790, leaving behind a legacy that has endured for centuries. He was honoured with public memorials and tributes, and his contributions to science, politics, and society continue to be celebrated. As one of America's most beloved founding fathers, Franklin's ideas and achievements have left an indelible mark on the nation, embodying the spirit of innovation, diplomacy, and civic responsibility.